Have you ever, spent time wondering if you have some kind of useless hidden superpower?
I can't say that I have.
Like maybe you can walk outside and the sun doesn't just warm your skin, but it literally shines straight through you, clothes, bones, everything, and it just pings out the other side.
Okay, that sounds a little strange.
It sounds like a terrible X-ray vision that only works on yourself, right? But what if that completely invisible energy what if it was actually the most potent, overlooked medicine your body needs?
Well, it might sound absurd, but that invisible penetration, that's exactly what we're digging into today.
Okay.
We're doing a deep dive into light, but not the kind that gives you a nasty tan. We're talking about these long wavelength invisible frequencies that they bypass all our usual defenses and act like a biological charger for your cells.
So our mission today is to figure out what this invisible light is actually doing once it gets inside, why pretty much all of us are, living light-starved, and why the timing of light is secretly the most powerful health lever you have.
Ready to look at the world in a whole new spectrum.
Absolutely. So let's unpack this with a fact that sounds straight out of a comic book.
Okay.
Scientists literally went outside in the midday sun, and they proved that light doesn't just stop at your skin. They measured sunlight entering one side of a person's body and exiting the other.
Yeah, passing clean through. It's frankly wild, and it changes everything. What's so fascinating here is that this is really just simple physics.
Right.
We think of light as one thing, but it's a whole spectrum. You have your shorter wavelengths like UV or visible blue light, and those are mostly absorbed or reflected by the skin. That's your sunburn.
Or just blinding brightness.
Exactly. But the light with longer wavelengths, specifically in the infrared category, it penetrates the human body with stunning ease.
So we're kind of translucent to certain frequencies. Is there a sweet spot, though, like a perfect window for it?
There absolutely is, and this is the key. The human body is most transparent to a specific frequency, a sort of Goldilocks wavelength, 850 nanometers.
850 nanometers,
And that's
completely invisible.
Completely.
Yeah.
If you were exposed to it, your eye wouldn't even register it was there. It's light you can feel but never ever see.
So if this 850 nanometer light gets past everything, into the deep tissues, where is it going? What's the target?
It goes straight to the absolute core of your energy system, the mitochondria.
The cellular powerhouses.
Right. They're responsible for generating ATP, which is the body's energy currency.
I love the analogy you found, the one about the mitochondria being like the hydroelectric dams along the Colorado River.
Yeah, tell us about that, because that really clicked for me.
So think of the electron transport chain. That's the process of making ATP as a series of dams. Electrons are like water, starting up high.
Okay.
As these electrons fall through the system, they turn these massive hydroturbines, and that's what generates the huge amounts of energy, the ATP, that runs your brain, your muscles, your everything.
So what does the invisible 850 nanometer light do to this whole river system? Does it add more water? That's the thing, it doesn't. The prevailing theory is that when this infrared light hits the mitochondria, it just makes the whole process radically more efficient.
How?
It's thought to help structure the water inside the cell, so the turbines just run smoother, cleaner, with less friction. You get more power, more ATP, with less wear and tear on the engine.
But here's the mind-blowing detail, right? The thing that connects light, energy, and protection, melatonin.
Yes.
We all think of it as the sleep hormone from your brain, but our sources point out that melatonin is also produced inside the mitochondria.
Exactly. It is the ultimate internal defense mechanism. Melatonin, in this context, it's like the cooling system of the engine.
A cooling system.
It's designed to mop up all the damaging free radicals and oxidative stress that are just, a natural byproduct of making energy. In fact, mitochondrial melatonin is actually a way more powerful antioxidant than something like glutathione.
So how does our invisible 850 nanometer light connect to that?
Well, studies strongly suggest that this infrared light actually stimulates the mitochondria to produce more of this protective melatonin right there on the spot.
Wow.
So it's not just helping the engine run better, it's helping it cool down and protect itself at the exact same time.
Okay, that's really compelling. But here is where it just gets, it enters the realm of pure biological absurdity.
The abscopal effect.
Yes, the light doesn't even need to hit the target to work.
This is the phenomenon that just changes the whole conversation. The research showed this by studying mitochondrial function in the retina, looking at how light exposure could improve eyesight.
Right, and at first, they shone the light on the face, and the retina improved. Makes total sense.
Logical. But then, they repeated the experiment with the subject's heads completely covered.
So no light on the eyes at all.
None. The light only hit the rest of the body. And yet, the retina still showed a significant improvement in mitochondrial function.
Wait, hold on. So you're telling me shining a light on my knee can improve my eyeball?
That's the utterly absurd and amazing conclusion. It's a concept that's gaining a lot of traction because it suggests mitochondria aren't just isolated islands. They communicate.
Ow!
The thinking is there are free-floating mitochondria, or at least parts of them, traveling in the blood, acting like little messengers to upgrade function in distant organs. You treat the arm, and the whole system gets the memo.
That is legitimately groundbreaking. Okay, so if getting this invisible light is so crucial, why does spending time in, say, a green park feel so good? There's a hard science answer here, isn't there?
There is. It's the infrared mirror effect. Green leaves and grass, basically chlorophyll, they aren't very good at absorbing deep infrared.
So they restrict it.
They reflect almost 90% of that beneficial infrared light right back at you.
So when I'm standing in a park on a sunny day, I'm getting a double dose. The sky sends it down, and the grass and trees just bounce a massive concentrated dose right back at me. It's like a natural, invisible infrared sauna.
That's it, exactly. And the real-world proof of this is the incredible Green Heart study in South Louisville, Kentucky.
An urban area, lots of concrete.
Right. And critics always say that in these studies, the people who live near parks are usually wealthier and healthier anyway.
Yeah, it's a flawed comparison.
Which is why this study is so powerful. They took a baseline measurement for residents, looking at HCRP.
High sensitivity C-reactive protein, a marker for inflammation.
And a huge predictor for heart attack and stroke risk. Then they did one thing. They planted 8,000 mature trees in a 4-square-mile area.
Just planted trees, no changes to diet, exercise, anything.
Nothing. And the results are undeniable. There was an average drop of 13% and 20% in HCRP across the population, just from the new trees.
Wow, that's a huge reduction in risk.
It correlates to a 10 to 15% reduction in strokes and heart attacks. Redefining the local infrastructure with greenery had this monumental public health benefit.
That's amazing. But now we have to pivot, because it's not just about what light you get, it's about when you get it.
This is where we get into light hygiene. And the truth is, the timing is everything.
Yeah.
It's all about the battle between cortisol, your waking hormone, and melatonin, your resting hormone.
You need that big cortisol spike in the morning to get going.
Crucially, yes, bright, intense morning light, ideally outside, creates a massive, clean cortisol spike. This sets the brain's master clock. It tells it that it is daytime now. If you only get a wimpy little spike from dim indoor light, your cortisol stays elevated later in the day.
And that elevated cortisol then competes with the melatonin I need at night.
That's the nighttime sabotage. At night, that master clock needs total darkness. If it sees light, especially blue light, it reads it as a threat. It screams, abort mission, it's still daytime.
Which kills the melatonin production.
Instantly. And it pushes your whole rhythm back. Your natural 10 p.m. bedtime becomes 1 a.m.
And the stakes for this they're terrifyingly high. The research on people who are blind from severed optic nerves.
Right. With that specific blindness, the pineal gland never gets the light-triggered shutdown signal. So they have this uninterrupted, robust melatonin secretion all night.
And the result was?
A remarkable 30% less cancer incidence.
30%. That means our bad light hygiene is actively switching off a major disease defense system.
Yes. That antioxidant protection is vital. If we just enforced proper darkness, the potential for disease reduction is huge.
And this leads right to the modern trap, which you call process light.
It's the perfect term for it. About a decade ago, we mandated energy efficiency, so LEDs and CFLs became the standard.
And they got efficient by cutting out the wasteful energy.
Exactly. Incandescent bulbs naturally produced a wide spectrum, including tons of that beneficial invisible infrared light. Modern LEDs eliminate that infrared spectrum entirely. We basically traded biological optimization for electrical efficiency.
We optimized our power bill at the expense of our cellular engine.
Precisely. And the impact of this timing is shown in that massive study of 88,000 people wearing light sensors. Highlight exposure between 4 p.m. and 11 p.m. was associated with people dying less.
Light during active hours is good.
Got it. But once you cross midnight, the data flips completely. Highlight exposure between midnight and 7 a.m. was associated with a higher chance of dying. The timing of light is literally linked to a mortality clock.
So what about night shift workers? I mean, they're fighting their biology every single night.
They are. And their metabolic problems come from their clocks being out of sync. You have your central brain clock, but you also have these peripheral clocks in your GI tract, which are heavily driven by when you eat.
So they're awake at 2 a.m. and they eat a meal.
And that's the critical issue. Eating at 2 a.m. tells your digestive organs, hey, it's 2 p.m., start working, even though the brain knows it's the middle of the night. This metabolic confusion is a massive driver of disease.
Was there a simple fix?
An incredibly simple one. A study took night shift workers and just had them eat only during the daytime portion of their schedule, never on their night shift.
They changed when they ate, not what they ate.
And that one intervention reduced their metabolic problems by a staggering 80 to 90%.
That's a near-complete turnaround, an amazing cheat code. So for the rest of us, do we all need to go buy expensive infrared panels?
I mean, they have their place, but the sun is free, the research is clear. Just 15 minutes of direct sun can be enough to start turning around mitochondrial issues. Go for a walk, go to a park, and get that mirror effect.
Let's do a quick review then. Invisible 850-millimeter light passes right through you to charge your cellular engine.
And because of the abscopal effect, treating your arm can actually improve your eye.
And just planting 8,000 trees in Kentucky cut heart disease risk by up to 20%.
For decades, we've worried so much about processed food. We're only now realizing we've been subjecting ourselves to processed light that's stripped of its most essential invisible parts. The timing of that light is just as profound a factor in our health as diet.
So if avoiding bright light after midnight could reduce your disease risk by that much, just think about this. How many little glowing clock radios, device chargers, or standby lights are sitting in your bedroom right now, silently tricking your body into thinking it's daytime and turning off one of your most powerful ancient protective systems every single night? Go check your nightstand. It might be the easiest health intervention you make all year.